What if the greatest disaster in human history didn't wipe us out, but erased a civilization we never knew existed? Beneath this calm lake lies the scar of a supervolcano so powerful it nearly ended humanity. But what if it also buried a world we forgot? Imagine a place where the ground itself remembers violence, where the earth exploded so violently that ash covered half the planet, where climate collapsed, species vanished, and humans were pushed to the edge of extinction. This place is not a myth. It's Lake Toba in modern Indonesia, the largest volcanic eruption on Earth in the last 2 million years. Many know the geology, but hardly anyone asks the forbidden question: who lived here before the explosion? Because if people were here, their world didn't just fall, it was erased. 4,000 years ago, the Toba supervolcano erupted with a force 5,000 times greater than Mount St. Helens. Picture this: a column of fire rising 50 kilometers into the sky, ash clouds swallowing whole continents, sulfur turning the sun into a cold red ghost, temperatures worldwide dropping by 5 to 10 degrees. This wasn't an eruption, it was a planetary reset button. Studies suggest the human population may have dropped to as low as 2,000 breeding individuals. We were close, terrifyingly close, to disappearing forever. But the question remains: if humans nearly vanished, who else vanished with us? Modern textbooks often jump from Homo erectus to Homo sapiens like everything in between was empty. But Southeast Asia, especially Sumatra, wasn't empty. Archaeologists have found stone tools 800,000 years old, evidence of early humans living on the island. DNA hints that the region was a corridor for ancient migration, and traces of Denisovan hybrids in nearby populations. There were people here, and not just wandering nomads, but communities. Still, something strange happens in the archaeological record. Everything stops at around 74,000 years ago. Sites end abruptly. Tools disappear. Layers go silent. It's not that these people slowly declined, they were erased in an instant. Just like that, a civilization, or many civilizations, vanished without a trace. When the eruption ended, what remained was a vast, broken caldera, a wound in the earth. Over thousands of years, that wound filled with water. Today, we call it Lake Toba. But beneath that calm surface lies buried tectonic scars, sunken land masses, ancient shorelines, and strange underwater structures scientists still can't explain. Sonar scans show odd shapes, ridges, terraces, geometric patterns. Are they natural? Probably. But the haunting thing is this: if there was a civilization here, every piece of it now lies under 500 meters of volcanic rock, ash, and water. We would never find it. It would be the perfect disappearance. Here's where things get unsettling. Modern genetics find something unusual. Right after the Toba event, human DNA worldwide shows a bottleneck, a drastic reduction in diversity. But there's a twist. Some isolated populations in Southeast Asia carry deep, ancient DNA lines that survived the bottleneck. This suggests a possibility. Before Toba erupted, the region may have been a cradle of early human development, and its survivors carried those memories, not in stories, but in their genes. Imagine a civilization advanced for its time, not with cities or writing, but with complexity. Ritual traditions, social hierarchies, early seafaring, stone tool cultures, seasonal camps, trade networks along island chains. All wiped out, all forgotten, except for a whisper in our chromosomes. Around the world, archaeologists keep finding something strange. Human tools directly beneath Toba ash. In India, in Malaysia, in Africa, in Arabia. This means people survived the blast. And if people survived far away, then some may have survived near Toba itself, which raises a haunting question. If an ancient civilization lived here, did any of them remain after the eruption? Or were they reduced to legends, stories told by traumatized survivors who wandered into new lands, speaking of a burning sky and a world that vanished? Once the earth swallowed our home. It sounds like mythology, but myths often begin as memories. Quite a few Indonesian oral traditions describe a mountain that exploded, a darkness that lasted for years, a world drowned in ash, survivors fleeing across islands, a lost homeland swallowed by fire. These stories existed long before science explained the Toba eruption. Could they be cultural echoes, the last memories of a people destroyed 74,000 years ago? A civilization wiped away, leaving only ripples in the human story. Today, geologists know Toba is still alive. The magma chamber is refilling. The ground breathes. Small eruptions continue beneath the lake. But the real mystery is older than all of this. What was here before? We may never know. Toba didn't just erupt, it buried the entire landscape beneath kilometers of ash. Finding evidence of a civilization under that weight is like looking for a heartbeat under concrete. And yet, the idea persists. Because every great mystery in human history begins with a simple question. What if? What if a people once thrived here? What if they lived, loved, traded, dreamed? What if they had rituals, stories, early navigation? What if they were wiped away in a single day, and their memory became our fear of fire and sky? When we stare into the still waters of Lake Toba, are we looking at a beautiful landscape or a grave? Humanity has survived many tragedies. But the Toba supereruption wasn't just a disaster. It may have been the moment that reshaped our species, pushing us to adapt, rebuild, migrate, become something new. So perhaps the greatest secret buried beneath Lake Toba is not a lost civilization, but the moment we became who we are. The world is full of stories we were never meant to remember. But every lake, every stone, every volcano carries whispers of the people who lived before us. And sometimes, a whisper is enough to start a legend.